To light the lamp of love in your hearts, and to see that it burns ever brighter for each passing day. I can be found through truth and righteousness. I have come in this human form for the purpose of sustaining truth in all of you. This figure Sai bears the name of Satya, truth. Chariot festivals are a tradition from ancient days and also part of the joyous celebration of Sai Baba's 65th birthday. In the villages and towns, the local idols are taken from the temples according to ancient rituals and incantations. These idols, which are symbols of God, are then placed on the seat of elaborately decorated chariots, then led through the streets in a colorful procession, pulled by devotees and followed by various groups of dancers, musicians, and singers. The chariot is a symbol of the human body. In truth, every living being is a chariot. But there is a deeper meaning to the chariot. It is the perception of the sacred atmic principle which is there within. The understanding of the indwelling truth in this chariot, the body. It is a ritual to remind each person of the need to develop integral vision, to be able to look beyond elaborate external features, to look beyond the dazzling body, to look beyond emotional and mental states, to see the indweller, the divine Atma of the chariot. Animals are also chariots. The body of every living being is a chariot. Gita here is Sai Baba's very own elephant. She is dressed up and adorned in the very finest Indian silk and gold as a part of the festivities centered around Sai Baba. In the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says to Arjuna, Know that all these people about whom you are so concerned are only chariots. They may be grandfathers, they may be brothers, they may be cousins. Whoever they may be, they are only chariots. In truth, you are seeing only chariots in the form of these various relatives. You have been keeping your vision clouded by seeing only the body. But a sacred person like you should not care so much for externals. You must concentrate your mind on the indweller who is seated in every human body. The singing of by the boys' student choir marked the opening and commencement of the 5th World Conference of the Sri Sathya Sai Seva organization. The conference was how more and more devotees can be involved in the activities of the organization, of which Sai Baba said, Sai service organizations must grow in numbers and cover the entire country. Only then will the country enter on an era of prosperity. Consider yourselves as the children of one God. You are not strangers. You are not mere products of nature or of the physical elements. You are all sparks of the divine. You must have only divine thoughts. Preaching spirituality to a starving man, says Swami. Feed the hungry. Offer solace and encouragement to those in distress and despair. You are born to serve, not to dominate, says Sai Baba. Everyone in the world is a servant and not a master. All relationships of husband and wife, mother and child, the employer and employee are based on mutual service. The world is progressing because of such mutual service. If the principle of service did not operate, the world would come to a halt. Do you regard an officer as a superior? It is not so. Even he is a servant, It is only when man is filled with the spirit of service that his divine nature is revealed. He then experiences the peace that passeth understanding.
Vidyadayaka jai ganana, Buddhi pradayaka sai ganana, Parsipurishwar sai ganana.
During the week-long celebration of the joint events of Sai Baba's 65th birthday and the 5th World Sai Conference, the ashram Prasanthi Nilayam was teeming with various activities. Delegates and devotees from all over the world were housed within the ashram, as well as in the entire town of Puttapati, the birthplace of Sai Baba. There had been a long period of preparation for this glorious week, and this was greatly appreciated by everyone. Under the taxing circumstances of the great numbers of guests, the activities of the ashram were efficiently well organized, although there were undeniably situations in which the patience and forbearance of some were severely tested. It was indeed an arduous task providing for adequate sleeping accommodations, water and sanitation, the assignment of stand areas, meals, and the inspiring program focused upon Sai Baba. In the nearby hills, tents were provided by Swami for quite a number of his guests. People from all walks of life had found their way to Puttapati, from humble families to prestigious dignitaries. Teams of volunteers from the United Kingdom, Italy, and Calcutta worked virtually around the clock with the chore of feeding the crowds. No limit had been set to the number of delegates permitted to attend the conference from overseas Sathya Sai centers. Around 3,000 delegates attended from overseas. Swami entertained around 1 million guests from 98 nations and provided them with 3 meals a day, free of charge, and vegetarian, of course. Overlooking the ashram on the grounds of the University Administration Building is situated one of the most impressive birthday gifts to Sai Baba from a number of his devotees. The Eternal Heritage Museum is a gift inspired by the spirit of religious tolerance practiced by Sai Baba, and it is dedicated to the forefathers of all the religions of the world. The Eternal Heritage Museum holds a unique exhibition of world religions and spiritual concepts. It is a place where unity and brotherhood are proclaimed, where all religious denominations are respected as being of equal value, all having at its heart the same God of many names. For a small group of devotees committed to the museum project, it was a nerve-wracking, awe-inspiring, frustrating experience, attempting to meet the cliff-hanging deadline for completion and presentation of this wondrous gift to Swami on his birthday. Swami says, religion brings out the humanness in man and enables him to live in harmony with his fellow men. It provides the link between the individual and the divine. It demonstrates the unity that underlies the diversity in the world. Swami's teachings have been translated to every major language of the world. Numerous nations exhibited at their respective stands translations of Sai Baba's discourses and works telling of shared experiences with him. For the illiterates of the world, Swami's teachings have been taped so that they too may receive his blessed learnings and partake in his wisdom and guidance. There are Sai centers all over the world. Sai Baba has only once traveled outside of India. In 1968, he went to Uganda in Africa. Every center longs to be blessed by a visit from Swami, but he has chosen, until now, to remain in India, in the town where he was born 65 years ago. His primary purpose is to revitalize and replenish the truth, starting with his own nation, India. Sai Baba has built 2 boys' colleges as well as a grade school and a high school in Puttapati. He supports schools all over India and has devoted a great deal of his time to the youth of his nation, for as he says, the fate of the nation is dependent upon which direction the youth will follow in these unbelievable times. The youth should not be led into ways of hypocrisy, nor into ways of corruption and greed.
Sai charanam Sai charanam मनुआ बोलो गुरु चरणम मानस भजरे गुरु चरणम 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 श्री गुरु चरणम सद्गुरु 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 चरणम साई चरण नमो साई चरण नमो साई चरण नमो साई चरण नमो
In India, Sai Baba is regarded as an avatar, which is the reincarnate of the divine. God has taken the human form of the Swami. It is Sai Baba's practice to bestow blessings upon those present twice daily at the ashram. This practice is known as Darshan. During the week of celebration, the twice daily practice of Darshan was held at the Hillview Stadium, where the crowds could be accommodated. Swami tells us that we are all standing on the threshold of a new era. We are all in the midst of a transition into a new epoch. Old structures are crumbling from within, and the world is enmeshed in endless crises. Changes of which we have little or no understanding are taking place. The life of the avatar is an example of love and service to mankind. Swami says, "My life is my message. There is only one caste, the caste of humanity. There is only one language, the language of the heart. There is only one religion, the religion of love. There is only one God, the divine who is ever present. The singing of songs of worship is an ancient Vedic practice called bhajan. This custom is still very much alive in the temples of India and is also an important part of the daily worship ceremonies at Prasanthi Nilayam. The daily communal singing of devotional songs in reverence to God and to the glorification of all that is good in man strengthens the bonds of unity and brotherhood. Swami loves bhajan.
This is the World Conference, and we express our gratefulness to our Divine Master for having bestowed this longest period of peace and prosperity. This absence of war for 4 decades and cooperation amongst nations is a sign of global peace and prosperity to follow in this 21st century. We pray that the 21st century shall become the century of science, the century of love and peace, and the dawn of realizing the one world, one people has begun by the avatar of the sage, Sri Sathya Sai.
Fear in the world was one of the subjects Swami spoke about during a discourse at the 5th World Sai Conference. The world situation today is dreadful and frightening. Wherever you turn, fear confronts you. Whether you remain at home or go out into the street, whether you travel by train or walk on the road, fear haunts you. The world is enveloped in fear. If you want to banish this fear, you have to develop firm faith in God as the sole refuge. Then you are feared from fear. Shedding all fear, carry on with your work with courage and determination, without any worry about the future, and plunge into service activities. If you act with this faith, you will be able to serve the nation well. It is not your intellectual ability that will serve to protect the country. If you adhere to truth and righteousness, they will protect both you and the country. Live up to the truth of your being. Act righteously.
Man has emerged from action. Kanuka, మానవుడు చేసే కరచరణ అవయాదులతో సల్పేటువంటి సర్వ క్రియలు కూడాను విష్ణుమయమే. Therefore, all the actions performed by various limbs and senses of man are full of Vishnu. కనుక మానవుడు సల్పే సమస్త కర్మలు కూడాను దైవ కర్మలుగానే మనం విశ్వసించాలి. Therefore, we have to believe firmly that all the actions performed by man are essentially divine. Kriyata iti karmaha.
Bhagawan
Approximately 4 miles from the ashram is located the site of the soon-to-be constructed Sri Sathya Sai Institute of Higher Medicine. The institute will eventually function as hospital as well as an educational center with a doctor's college for the formation and training of young doctors from the whole of India. The first phase of the building of the hospital will provide for treatment of 100 patients with specialized services in internal medicine, specifically heart, kidney, lungs, and brain, as well as the treatment of cancer. When finally completed, the Sai Institute of Higher Medicine will be able to treat 600 patients. The hospital will also offer free medical services to those individuals who are unable to pay. The hospital will cover a land area of 45 acres. Situated nearby the Sai Institute is the Sai Airport, which presently is capable of receiving light aircraft. The site of the airport has potential for growth and development into an airport of international dimension. While awaiting the arrival of Sai Baba, Indian women beautified the area chosen for the placement of the foundation stone of the hospital. The preparations for the blessing of the site by Sai Baba was done in accordance with ancient traditional Vedic rituals, which seek to promote the prosperity and success of the project. The Sai Institute of Higher Medicine is a joint venture between Sai Baba, the government of India, and a number of contributing devotees from various parts of the world.
Miss Sinclair, where's your wife? It's not well, yes.
There were a number of prominent dignitaries and influential individuals attendant. Among the guests was the President of India, who laid the foundation stone of the Sai Institute of Higher Medicine. The Sai Institute will be equipped with the most modern medical technological equipment and facilities, much of it being delivered from the United States.
Swami, thank you very much. Thank you, Swami, very much. Thank you, Swami. Bless us with that.
In the ashram on the eve of Sai Baba's 65th birthday, an electrifying atmosphere of anticipation was felt. In the nearby village, the local vendors were also happy for the spendings of Swami's many festive guests. And even the crows at dawn seemed to know that this was to be a very special day. A veritable atmosphere of spiritual unity and brotherhood permeated the air, with Sai Baba as its magnetic, energizing center. Swami says, unity, fellow feeling, and devotion are essential for every human being. To promote these sacred qualities in mankind, some great souls sought to establish different religions. Religion is intended to develop the human personality and indicate the basic guidelines for right living.
May I, my dear Sai brothers and sisters, thank you for this wonderful lesson of past and make this occasion for the most momentous in our life.
भजन बिना सुख शांति नहीं,
साई भजन बिना सुख शांति नहीं,
हरि भजन बिना सुख शांति नहीं,
साई भजन बिना सुख शांति नहीं,
हरि
हरि नाम बिना आनंद नहीं, हरि नाम बिना आनंद नहीं, हरि नाम बिना आनंद नहीं, बाबा 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 मुझे दरस दिखाने आजा, बाबा मुझे दरस दिखाने आजा, तेरी सुरतिया सबसे न्यारी, तेरे दरस का मैं हूँ भिखारी, दर्शन देने आजा बाबा, मुझे दर्श दिखाने आजा, बाबा मुझे दर्श दिखाने आजा।
During the course of the entire week, Sai Baba had been the recipient of many beautiful presents and offerings, but on the evening of his birthday, he chose to be the giver, offering gifts to, among others, the graduating students of the Sai Institute of Higher Education. A concert was given with the performance of some of the finest musicians and singers of classical Vedic melodies. But prior to the performance, the artists were blessed by Swami and allowed to kiss the lotus feet of the avatar. Baba was seated upon a swing chair known as a Jhoola. It symbolizes the seat of God, from where all tasks are dispensed with in leisure and ease, as no problem is too great for the avatar, and from where the wisdom of Sai Baba is made manifest. Transformation must begin with the individual. When the individual changes, the world will change. This transformation has to take place in the minds of men. Right thoughts will lead to right actions. That is why the scriptures have declared that the mind is the cause of man's bondage or liberation.